Hey guys, what is up? In today's video, we're going to talk about the backstory of my car, because half of what makes a project car is the story behind it. So although I do not know the full story of this car, I do know that this car has had a lot of stuff gone through it. So the story that the lady gave it to me when I bought it from her is this car was built in Ohio and it stayed in Ohio its entire life. So this is an all Ohio car, which I like that because I live in a small town in Ohio. So I like it that it's always been original to the state I live in. And I know that her first husband and her drove this to school every day in high school. So they were high school sweethearts. And that's when a lot of the modifications got done. So I assumed they were drag racing it. I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, not drag racing, but street racing, I should say. So that is when I believe they put the Edelbrock valve covers and the Edelbrock intake on it, as these were really popular, things to do back in the 80s. As well as they put traction bars in the rear. That is a traction bar. It's made to help you get better traction off the launch. Once I start tearing into it a little bit more, I might make a video about how they work, if you guys are curious. I mean, I'm sure there's other YouTube videos, but, Anyhow. So they got a divorce, but her first husband kept this car as TOD to her, which means transfer on death. So, many years later, probably 20, if not more years later, he passed away. The car was transferred to her, and they couldn't find the car in any of his properties because his brother stole the car because he thought it was unfair that she should get it because she was divorced by him 20 years ago. So because of this, I have new keys for this car. So I bought brand new door locks. This is going to need door locks. I bought brand new glove box locks because it needs a glove box. It also needs floorboards, as you can see right through them. I need a new ignition key because I don't have that. And I'm going to need a new trunk lock because there's no way of opening the trunk right now. That's why I took the trunk off. That way I could access the stuff inside of it. So I wish I would have done more research before I bought the car. Not because I think I got scammed or anything, but because I would love to have more answers and more questions to what happened to this car. I think I mentioned this in the last video, but if you look on the engine code of the engine, it is a WT block, which is right there. It says WT. That means that this engine was paired with a manual out of factory, and I know it's a numbers matching car because I think I went over that. And if you have noticed, that right there is not a manual shifter. It's a manual floorboard, but that's an automatic shifter, which means this car has been automatic swapped at some point. And for what reason, I don't know. And that is what I would have loved to get the answer for. Were they actually racing this as a legit drag car? And it's automatic's better for actual drag racing? Maybe. I mean, it does have headers on it, and it's also painted orange, which makes me believe the engine was, or doesn't make me believe, I know it's been rebuilt at least once. Because you're not going to pull an engine out of a car just to paint it Chevy orange and just put it back in. There's no reason why you go through that much effort. So I believe they pulled it out to rebuild it. And I do not know what internals this thing has. It could already be modified, bored over, could be sleeved. I have no way of knowing. The carburetor, I do not believe it is an original from Pontiac. I believe that is something aftermarket, as well as a spacer, because I don't think they came. So, I don't know. I wonder if maybe the transmission blew up and they swapped it, and that's why. But since they did spent a lot of money and modifications on this car, and I don't know. And I know it was wrecked because this driver's side fender had about a 1/4 inch worth of Bondo on it. So I know it wasn't a body shop. The front bumper has some damage to it that was fixed. But it wasn't wrecked too bad because the bin is on the window right here, which I just showed you guys. And that's also how I know it's a numbers matching block. a numbers matching car because it matches, and you can see how dirty the interior of this car is. Also, I have a rear defrost on this car, which is kind of a weird option that they have because a lot of these didn't have that. So I just found this really interesting, and I thought some of you guys would love to know the backstory of this car. And I hope to add to the story, and I really want to keep the originality of the motor because this car definitely has history. The fact that it was stolen and they had to recover it. I guess I never finished that story. The car was stolen, missing for probably 15 years that she owned it. The title was in her name, but they did not know where the car was. They finally tracked down the brother of her ex-husband, and they had the cops come with them to try to repo this, and they could not get the brother to answer the door. He was not home, hiding, and whatever, but they were able to repo the car. Now, the sad part is when he got the car was complete, rough condition, but complete. And when they got the car back, it was missing the hood and the shaker scoop, which kind of stinks, but oh well, it is what it is. And as luck would have it, my dad had a 75 Trans Am back in school, and so did his friend. And now those cars have rusted out, long gone, but he just happened to save a hood. So I found a hood for this car already, and I already mocked it and fitted it up before I tore anything off this car. So I'm confident in that part. I just need to find a shaker, and I have a complete car. It just needs to be completely redone. So hopefully I can do all that, but it is a real shame that I can't keep the original hood and shaker, although it really doesn't matter because this car is getting new fenders because, like I said, I want this car to be right, and this fender on the driver's side had about a 1/4 inch worth of Bondo on the bottom half of it, and it was junk, and it was rusting through in spots. I still have the fenders. They're over there on the shelf with a bunch of other parts, way in the back. So I want this car to be done right, and I think it should be because I think it has the history, and I think it should be preserved because I want to add on to the story of this car, hopefully keeping the original block in it. I thought about LS swapping it, but I feel like that's a lot of people do that, and it's cool, but I think it's cooler to have the original block. And I'm only 18 years old, so the budgeting is kind of tight. I've actually not even graduated yet. My graduation is in 3 days. Yeah, my graduation ceremony is in 3 days. So bear with me as I'm trying to make as much videos as possible, but I am graduating school right now and got a lot ahead of me. So trying to pump as many videos as I can out. That means filming multiple videos in one day. So if you see me wearing the same clothes, but the videos released months apart, it's just because I'm trying to get as much content as I can filmed because my car is not located at my house, but my computer I edit and post videos is. So if I only have a half hour, it's not really worth me running to come work on this car because by the time I get here, unlock the doors, get my tools out and start working on it, I got about 10 minutes before I have to clean everything up and get home. So there's really no point unless I have a couple hours to work on it, which means I have to get the most content created possible. So I hope you guys like the story of this car, and I hope I can add to it. And you guys will be the first to hear about the stories of this car on my YouTube channel. So please like and subscribe and follow along the story because I'm sure the story is going to get better. Thanks for watching.